Alright, Ethan, here's the first Noel, like you're asking me to break down a little bit, so I'll try to break it down as best as I can for you, and if there's anything that you're a little confused about, or need clarification, or want to see broke it down a little better, then, feel free to ask me, and I'll try my best to do so for you. But we're going to start off, and this song's in the key of G here, so, you'll have all these open strings and everything. That's really what kind of makes the song work a lot, really, is there uses a lot of those open strings to kind of fill out the sound right there. And so we're going to start off here, and I'll play this little first part for you real slow, and then I'll break it down. So that whole part right there, it's going to start off with this little melodic idea that you've got, which is going to start on the second string. That's your lead note right there. That's your first note you come in with, is that second string, which is that B string. I take my ring finger and I put it on that 7th fret of this low D string right here, or the 4th string, and so the roll right there is going to be a 2, 4, 3, and then you're going to hit a 4, open 4 string right there, and then 3, 3, 2, 2, and I'm going to slide right there to this partial D chord. This it's kind of like, if you think of our full D chord right here, how they normally have it, then all I'm doing really is, with the shape that you have, I take off my pinky and my middle finger, and then there you go. I've got it right there. If you need the fret numbers right there, it's the 4th fret on the low D string, and then I have my index finger on this G string right here, that 3rd string right there, 2nd fret right there, and that's just a 4, 3, 1 roll right there. So all together at that point, right, what we have is this. And then you get to this part where you're gonna walk up with a lot of partial chord shapes. So it's good to know what your partial C looks like if you don't know what it is. This is that C major chord right there, right? And then if we do that, I just take off my middle finger, and there you go, right? That's how it looks right there. So I'm going to be walking that whole part like this, basically, because you're going to go up to this D right there. Then a good chord that you'll need to know also is that C bar chord that we have right here, but you're going to just want to finger only the 5th fret on that 1st and 2nd string, right? So it's another partial chord right there. Alright, and so what we're going to do is, and then we're going to rock back between a pinch and then some strings once we get down, but it's going to go da, da, right, pinch, 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 4th string, pinch, 3rd string, pinch, 5th string, and then open 1st and 2nd string. And then I'll normally just do a little roll to fill out that space. Normally what I'll do is a 5, 1, 2, right? So and then we'll walk that back up again, right? Go back down the same way, and then open, and then we're going to pinch that 5th string and walk back up immediately to that partial C chord, that partial D chord right here, And then we do a partial G chord right here. So if you take your G shape or your F shape G right there, right, then we're just going to have that 3rd and 5th fret on the 5th fret on that 1st string, 3rd fret on that 2nd string right there. Right. And then we just hit the open G right here on the 1st and 2nd string. And then you're going to hit and pinch the 4th and the 2nd string open. And you're going to hammer on to that C shape right there on those 2 strings. So if we take our C shape right there, and then you're just going to hammer it on to that 4th, to that 2nd fret, and then that 2nd string will have a hammer on into your 1st fret of that B string. And then I'm going to pinch that outside 5 and 1. And then I'll just go back and pinch to my 4th and 2nd string open. So, all together, what we're going to have is this right here. And then you repeat that whole part again, because I like to think of it in 3 parts basically. Is you have these 2 verses and then you have a little chorus part right there. So you just repeat that whole section again, and now we get into this little chorus part where it's a little different. And so you're going to start off in the same way. Alright, but once you get here, you're going to actually take your middle finger. And I prefer to do it with my middle finger because it's a little easier to get this chord out. You're going to slide from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret there. And we're going to make this B minor chord right here. So you're going to take that and put it on the 4th fret of both the 4th string and the 3rd string right there. I'm using my ring finger for that. And then I'm going to take my index finger and put it on the 1st or 3rd fret of the 2nd string right there. And so that's just going to be a roll right there. And it's just going 4, 3, 2. And then you're going to just walk down from, alright, to the C shape right here. So da, da, da. And that's going to be this little melodic idea where I'm on the 4th fret of my 1st string. I use my open 5th string as a lead note right there, so I can have enough time to get my pinky onto the 7th fret. And I'm basing this off of this A shape right here, because what I'm going to do right after that is I'm going to take a slide. And I'm sliding from that 3rd string, right, to this B shape right there. And that's that partial B shape. And then I'm going to take my pinky, flatten it down as a bar onto the 7th fret, and put my ring finger on this 9th fret of the low D string. So I can have this B7 chord. And that's just me going 4, 3, 2, 1. I use my thumb personally to just go down onto that 4, 3, and then I'll use the other 2 fingers here to hit the 2, 1. Alright, so from right there, what you got is, excuse me, let me do that again. I just end it off as the same way I did on the verses, where it's so that's your whole first part right there, basically. And now we get into this up the neck break. You're gonna want to start with your first finger on that 9th fret of the first string, and then your middle finger on the 2nd fret, or the 2nd string, and you're gonna put that on the 10th fret right there. And so that's just gonna be a 1, 2, 5 roll right there. 1, 2, 5. And then I'm gonna hit this partial G shape chord right here. If you know your D shape chord, then you're just gonna take that and put it into your G shape right here, or your G chord. And then you're just gonna leave off this first string. You're gonna leave that open right there, right? And so what I'll do there is then I'm gonna do a 3, 2, then I'll take that 7th fret on that first string, 9th fret, right? So 10th fret, and that's me getting ready for this slide. I'm taking that C shape, or that C chord here. So I'm doing the F shape, and then I'm doing that on a C. And I'm just rolling from a 3, 2, 1 right there to this D chord. So what you got from there is alright. And then a lot of this up here is going to be the same thing that you did down here, really. It's just that if you imagine this 12th fret as the open bar, then you're just going to move your shapes up accordingly, like how you did it. And so right, and so that's a partial C right there. I'm starting that on my 13th fret of the 2nd string, and then I'm have my ring finger on the 14th fret of the 1st string right there, and I'm just rocking everything between those 1st and 2nd string and my 5th string. Alright. And that is that partial G right here. There's a bar G right there on that 12th fret, that's partial. And I'm just going to scoot this shape back right here 2 frets to have this bar F. So that way when I come back down, I just go to my D shape, right, G chord. But it's just these 1st and 2nd strings right there. And then I'll just repeat the whole thing again. And then you just repeat that whole part again, as I did earlier, right? And this will cover another verse for it. And then once you get into the chorus here, you're going to do a lot of the same thing, where it's the same kind of phrase, right? But then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get ready and take this A minor shape right there. So if you don't know what the A minor shape is, it's kind of like this C shape or this C chord right here on that F shape. But what I'm going to do instead is take this ring finger and I'm going to plop it down on my 10th fret on my second string. So how that's all going to look is I'm going to have my pinky on the 10th fret of the first. Ring finger goes on the 10th fret of the second string, and then I'm going to have my middle finger go on the 3rd fret of, or not the 3rd fret, the 3rd string, and it's going to be on that 9th fret of the 3rd string right there. And I'm going to take that same thing and I'm just going to slide it up there to this B minor shape. So then altogether it's going to be a going from the 1st string to the 3rd string. It's going to be a 10, 10, 9th fret, and then you should end on a 12th fret, 12th fret, 11th fret. And I'm just doing a 3-2-1 roll right there. Alright. And then this is probably going to be the most different part of everything. This kind of breaks a little bit of the mold from what I've been doing. Right? Is I'm going to start on this partial G shape right there. That's going to be on the 15th fret of the 2nd string, and then I'm going to be on the 17th fret of my 1st string right there. And I'm just going to do a, and then I'm going to walk that down to this partial D, right, and I'm just to that partial C right there. Alright, so all from there you have this. And I'll just hit that C again, rock that between that 5th fret or 5th string, and I'll just end off on that bar G right here on the 12th fret. And then now I can kind of go into my normal ending as I do. Alright, so you have everything there, so let me play just the one verse and then I'll play a chorus real slow for you here. Alright, so that's really it for the two main sections, and then I go back into low break here, and really everything I do is actually the complete same right there. The only difference is once I get to my very last part, right, this little walk, the like that very last line right there, I actually go and take it with a chord approach right there to walk everything, and so, but everything else stays the same. So, you know, if you just watch back to the first part of this, then you'll pretty much know how everything should follow, but you know, I'll play us to that point. Alright, and so again, but for our sake, I'll skip that part and go into the little chorus here. Right? Now here's the chord approach right here. So let me talk about what the chords are that I'm actually playing first, and then I'll show you a little bit more. So I'm going to be doing a C, B minor, A minor, G, E minor, D7, G, A minor, G. Alright, so a lot of chords that I just got thrown at you, but it'll be good for you to know your shapes if you don't know them already. So what we're starting off on is this F shaped chord, right? But then I'm gonna start it with my C chord, and that's just going down from 10th fret on the low D string, 9th fret on my G string, or my 3rd string right there, and then I'm gonna do the 8th fret on my 2nd string, and everything is just gonna be on this 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. That's where all these chords are gonna be really be playing off. So you're gonna take that C shape right here, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna back that down. You're gonna bar the 7th fret right here with your index finger. Right, it's fine to keep it the whole bar on the whole neck if you want to. Really, the only strings that you actually need is, of course, that 3rd and 2nd string, and then I take my ring finger and put that on the 9th fret, so I can have that right there on the low D string, and then I just back that down 2 frets so I can have an A minor shape. And now I get to Old Familiar, which is F shape, but I'm doing it on the G chord. Alright, so there you are there. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my pinky and plop it down on the 5th fret of the 2nd string, right there, right? So what it looks like is this E minor shape, or E minor chord, I should say, right? I kind of like to think of it as a triangle, really, because you're going to have your ring finger on this 5th fret of the D string. You're going to have the middle finger on your 4th fret of the 3rd string, and you're going to have your pinky on the 5th fret of the 2nd string right there, right? So you notice how right there, kind of plop that down right there, and then you're gonna go to this D7 chord, and so this is gonna be a partial D7 right here, and it's laid out a little different than how we normally see it, but right there it's gonna start on the 7th fret of that low D string, 5th fret of that 3rd string, and then you're gonna have your pinky on the 7th fret of the 2nd string. And then you're just going to take this D shape chord, and you're going to do that to your G right here. And you go back to your F shaped G. And then you're going to do an A minor here. Right? And that's just going to be my 2nd fret on both the 4th and the 3rd string. And then I'm going to take my index finger and put it on the 1st fret of the 2nd string.